Welcome to Mocktails and Masterpieces with the Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra. Today's episode is sponsored by Anthony Team Realty. Hello, and welcome to this very special episode of Mocktails and Masterpieces. I'm Dana Stone, the Executive Director of the Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra, and I'm here with Eric Stark, the Artistic Director of the Indianapolis Symphonic Choir. Eric, how are you doing today?
Great. Good morning, Dana. It's wonderful to be with you. Thanks for the opportunity to talk about the work that we get to do together. It's always a thrill for us.
I know for sure. I think our partnership with the Symphonic Choir is probably our longest continuous artistic partnership in the history of the ICO. And we're excited to once again be a part of Festival of Carols. And I thought we could just share with audiences kind of the evolution of how we've come to present what we're presenting and maybe share with some of our audiences that perhaps aren't aware of what the program is and why it's so special here in Indy.
Sure thing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think the symphonic choir and the chamber orchestra have been doing concerts together, not just Christmas concerts, but all kinds of stuff, really for decades. And that's one of the things that I love about the work that I get to do here in this very special community is that there are so many talented people and wonderful organizations that like to do stuff together. And the Festival of Carols partnership has been going on for, I can't even tell you for sure, maybe 15 years, close to 20 years perhaps, with the Chamber Orchestra in one form or another. And it's a highlight of the year for me. And I know that it's a highlight of the year for our audiences and for the singers and the choir because of the gifted music making that you guys bring to the stage and share with us.
I know it's pretty joyful. I've attended a few years, and there is just a wall of sound when
Hmm.
the two of us are combined that it is really uplifting, and it really kind of sets that stage for the holiday spirit. And
It
um,
sure does. As you're aware, and we don't want to talk maybe about all of these details just yet. We'll save them for a little farther in the conversation. But we've grown to close the concert with the same two pieces for many, many years now. And I know so many folks who tell me it's not Christmas until they've been at a concert and heard those two uplifting pieces, but with strong messages of hope and peace and joy. And I couldn't agree more. It really just makes the season complete for me, and I know for so many.
yeah, I agree. I think music, as for all of us, especially that are musicians and avid music lovers, it changes our mood. It
Hmm.
transforms who we are every day. And if I'm having a bad day, a little bit of music can shift
Sure does.
things at least a little bit more positive. Kind of get me
And
out.
especially at the holidays, where every piece we hear seems to have a connection of some beloved memory, people that have been important to us in our lives, are connected with that. I think of that when I'm on the podium conducting, the first time I sang the Hallelujah Chorus, um, I was a high school kid, and this was in the shopping mall in my hometown, Columbus, Indiana, with a bunch of church choirs together, a guy accompanying on an upright piano, and our conductor standing on a very tall ladder so that everybody could see. And I can remember to this day just what a thrill that was. And so now to be able to create that and recreate that experience for our audiences and as you know, for the young people that join us for that part of the concert as well, the high school spotlight choir, it's just a very special honor that I look forward to year after year.
Yeah, for sure. Can you share a little bit about the honor choir and who the school is this year? And
Yeah, so 22 years ago now, we started the Spotlight Choir program at Festival of Carols, and this is designed to help shine a light on any of the really wonderful choral programs that we have in the schools here in Indianapolis and Central Indiana. And the high school choir gets to do a little feature in the second half of the concert, sing a couple of their own pieces, and then joins the chamber orchestra and the full symphonic choir to close the concert with two very special pieces, the Dream Isaiah Saw and the Hallelujah Chorus. And this year, we're delighted to have the Central Sound from Lawrence Central High School coming to be with us. The program's been in existence for so long that a number of the schools have uh, uh, joined us once or twice, and Lawrence Central is an example of that. They first sang with us almost 10 years ago, I think. And so we're very, very happy to have them back. They have a wonderful program that serves a very broad student population, and they do music that is exciting and thrilling to hear, and all kinds of styles, everything from gospel and show choir to more classical kinds of things. And I know that the audiences are going to be really delighted to hear Central Sound from Lawrence Central High School. Milo Ellis and Kayla Smith are the directors. We're honored to have them joining us.
That's awesome. So do the schools choose the music that they'll perform, or do you provide that a suggestion?
We ask them to choose a couple pieces from their holiday repertoire that they would like to sing. We, of course, we have to make sure that, we're not both doing Silver Bells on the same concert, that sort of
Right.
thing. So we do kind of check that, but for the most part, it's whatever they want to do. And, um, that's such a highlight. I stand in the wings at that point in the concert, and I can watch a hush fall over the audience when the high schools take the stage and start to sing because they don't know what to the audience doesn't know what to expect, but invariably these kids just pour their hearts out for the audiences, whether at the Palladium or on campus at Butler, and it's a very, very special moment that inspires us all, and I think hopefully reminds us that this is the next generation of music makers that we're listening to, and what a great opportunity to give them a pat on the back and encourage them to keep it up.
For sure. Do you find that some of your members have been from previous alums of the high school program?
Absolutely. Uh, and not just from the high school choirs, but also from the Indianapolis Children's Choir, which is a frequent collaborator of both our organizations.
Yeah.
And I've been in my position with the symphonic choir for quite some time now. This is my 22nd year. So I'm feeling like kind of a choral grandparent sometimes because I'll get kids of former singers. That happened to me in my classroom at Butler this year for the first time. I had to kind of take a minute and a deep breath. But what could be better than to see people that you worked with once upon a time continuing to make music and see how fulfilling it can be for them and how much they're able to give to the community through their music making. That's really a very special thing.
Yes, for sure. So tell me a little bit about the membership of singers. How many singers do you have each season, and are
Uh-huh.
some concerts larger than others?
Yeah, so every season we re-audition the whole choir, so everybody has to sing an audition every year, and then we set the roster based on the returning singers and the new folks who wanted to audition and join us. And we usually end up at around 140 or 150 total names on the roster in any given season. And it's very rare that we have absolutely everybody on the stage for any one concert. We For big things like Festival of Carols, or if we're doing Mendelssohn's Elijah together, which we've done, or something like that, it might be around 120 to 130 singers. Sometimes we'll do smaller things. Baroque music, we might pare it down to 50 or 60 voices, or we might do an a cappella concert or a vocal jazz tribute with a pull-out group. Um, but these are folks who love to sing and who are willing to put up with my very bad jokes for 3 hours once a week on a Tuesday night, or sometimes more frequently than that when we're in concert week. Um, and they represent kind of the breadth of our wonderful community. Some have been highly trained in music, and some are people who just had a lifetime of music making, maybe in a church or school choir, and they want to continue that in this group. Some are doctors and lawyers, and some are grad students. Some are home with family and raising kids. Some are retirees seeking the connection that comes through music making. And as you know, one of the very special things about music making is this alchemy that takes place when a room full of people from various backgrounds decides they're going to work on a piece of music together. And it doesn't matter where you came from or what neighborhood you live in or what your job is. What is important is the music you have in your hands and the opportunity to create beauty where it didn't exist before. And I just find that so very inspiring. And the people in the symphonic choir bring this joy and this heartfelt connection to each other and to the music that they make and to sharing it with the audiences that just keeps me wanting to keep on doing this year after year and sharing it with our audiences. It's very special.
Awesome. So in thinking about Festival of Carols and the music that's presented, can you talk some about the repertoire? It seems that there's a mix of traditional and some new works. What can
Yeah.
audiences expect this year?
Glad to hear you say the word mix because that is the goal. We try to have a big variety of kinds of things. We want there to be some things that sound familiar. We want there to be some things that might be new and exciting, and we want there to be some moments where people laugh at how silly we are or crazy or whatever. We want some moments that kind of touch the heart as well, and so we'll hear familiar carols, and we'll hear some new things. This year, we're opening with a brand new setting of Joy to the World by an arranger, Taylor Scott Davis. He is an orchestrator who works for a British group that sings primarily a cappella, Voce 8. They're a very
Oh,
exciting group, and I just kind of stumbled across it, across his arrangements, and found this one. It's really beautiful. And what I like about, when you do familiar carols, you'd like there to be, that familiarity and that's kind of comforting to everybody, but you don't want to just do the same old version every single time. And so I think the audiences are going to really like this. It definitely is familiar. You hear the melody, you hear the harmonies, the chords that you like, and the words that are so meaningful, but a different orchestration, which will be great. We have lighthearted pieces that, contemporary standards like the Christmas song Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire by Mel Torme. Um, we also have uh, 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 wonderful French carol Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella, in a kind of a legacy arrangement now, I guess we would call it, by Alice Parker and Robert Shaw. Robert Shaw, who was uh, the most famous choral conductor of this country, probably in any generation. He and Alice Parker wrote scads of choral arrangements, including A Lot for Christmas. And this is an a cappella piece that um, uh, I'm sure folks of a certain generation, my generation, will recognize, and younger folks will enjoy. We also have this is a really cool piece. There's a British carol called the Wexford Carol that has always been one of my very favorite uh, Christmas carols. It's not hugely well known, but it's got a very kind of warm melody that's often sung by a baritone. Well, there's a group out of New York called Broadway International Voices it was actually founded in the 90s in part as a response to the AIDS crisis and how that was hitting the Broadway community so hard. And it has continued in the 30 years since then to be largely gospel music focused, and it's comprised of Broadway musicians. And so they have taken a number of kind of straight pieces of music, but put their own special twist on them. And we'll be doing their version of the Wexford Carol on our concert. It's kind of an up-tempo gospel number with a baritone solo and the choir and kind of a rhythm section that we've been rehearsing it, and it has this heartfelt authenticity and the gospel drive that just like gets into your body in a way that almost no other piece can. We're singing an arrangement of the Wassail Carol, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, a really fun up-tempo number by Andre Thomas called Shout for Joy, a new composition, and then a setting of a kind of an old-timey Christmas tune, I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. It's one that
I
people
love that
love,
song.
and it has a very, very special message. And it's a newer arrangement that I think people are gonna love a lot. So within all of that, plus there may be some shenanigans. I've just fair warning. Sometimes I can't control our staff, and we get a little carried away. So that may happen. We do have actually a battle of the carols
Okay.
scheduled for the concert. So audience members will be given a choice. Do you want to hear, and I don't want to reveal right now, do you want to hear choice A or choice B? And
Okay.
then they can choose a QR code and make a $1 or a $5 donation to vote for their choice. And then after intermission, our keyboard artist, David Duncan, will come back and perform a spontaneous improvisation on that tune based on whichever one got the most votes.
That'll
So
be really fun.
something really fun, exactly.
And I hope you get to do a different one each night.
That's right. That's right. We got to keep him on his toes. We can't let him get
Right.
too comfortable. So yeah, we'll put our thumb on the scale just a little bit. If I might, I'd like to also give a shout out to our wonderful soloist who's joining us this year. As you're aware, Dana, we've been able to share the stage over the years with some incredible solo artists, Angela Brown and Sylvia McNair, and on and on. And this year, this is a Brazilian friend of ours, Bruno Sandas. And Bruno joined the symphonic choir on a concert that we sang a year ago this fall, in the fall of 2023, where we were doing a lot of bossa nova, kind of
Mhm.
samba music. Bruno is from Brazil, but he has lived for the last 10 years or so in Indiana. He's finishing his doctorate in vocal performance at IU Jacob School of Music, but he works here in Indianapolis on the music staff at Christ Church Cathedral. And he is an incredible music talent, but even more than that, he's got just like this incredibly warm heart. And everybody who meets him or who works with him just is transformed by the experience. And so, even as early as our first rehearsals for the jazz concert last year, we started thinking this might be a guy that we should bring in for Festival of Carols. He's going to do a number of things, including one that he requested, The Impossible Dream from
Mm.
Man of La Mancha, which
Yeah.
is not a Christmas carol, of course, but it is a timely message for us, really, any time of the year. He'll be singing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and then the solo part for Wexford Carol and I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. So we're really looking forward to sharing the stage with him too.
Yeah, that's gonna be wonderful. Well, I know you have selected a piece from a past collaboration, the CD that we recorded in 2018, was it? Right?
2015 and 16, I
Oh,
think it
earlier
came
than I
from two
realized.
concerts,
Okay.
a little bit before that. Yeah, and this is available on Naxos or streaming on Spotify. It's a CD called Festival of Carols, and it's a compilation of works that we did with the chamber orchestra over 2 different years. And the opening track on that CD is an arrangement by Mac Wilberg of Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Now, your listeners will know very likely that Mac Wilberg is the conductor of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir in Salt Lake City, and he's an incredible arranger. Over the years, we've done any number of pieces that he has arranged for them because they feature both a large chorus and a beautiful polished orchestra accompaniment as well. And so we thought that would be a great way to open that CD, and we're happy to share that with your listeners on the podcast now.
Angels sing, glory.
Thank you, Eric, so much for sharing that piece with our audiences. And we're so excited to make music with you here in December. It's crazy how quickly the season comes, even though the actual program's a little bit later than normal. Can you be sure to share with our audiences the dates, the times, the locations of
You
all
bet.
the ways that they can experience this incredible collaboration?
Yeah, so it's the final weekend before the Christmas Day holiday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, December 20, 21, 22 at the Palladium in Carmel. And then Monday, December 23rd, that's a very late concert for us, but we think it's going to work out well. The tickets are selling well. That performance will be on Butler's campus at the Schrott Center for the Arts, a really beautiful, intimate theater. Both spaces, the Palladium and the Schrott Center, offer a really unique and meaningful experience for audiences, regardless of which they choose to attend. And tickets are available through the Indianapolis Symphonic Choir website, indychoir.org, and it'll direct you to the appropriate place to get tickets. But we hope to see people there in the audience and look forward to sharing this wonderful season and music with everyone.
Well, I will be there on Monday night because we do a Christmas holiday the previous weekend. So I'm excited that you have one not on the weekend that I can make.
We are too. That'll be great to have you there with us, Dana.
All right. Well, look forward to this collaboration and looking forward to more. Thank you so much for joining me today, and look forward to seeing you all at an ICO or ISC concert very soon.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Dana.
Bye.